Welcome to what promises to be a very salubrious edition of Escape to the Country. Now, remarkably, this beautiful castle behind me has been home to the same family for the best part of 1,000 years. But where is it, and who's lucky enough to call this lavish mansion home? Well, join me in just a few moments, and I'll tell you. There's a continental feel to today's show as our multilingual couple seek a translation to a more rural setting. Top of their list, some cosy English charm.
It is too big for a snug, but it is snug enough to sit in.
Yeah, take your point, yeah. And our delightful selection of properties seems to work in any language.
Oh, gosh.
Well, today we are in Herefordshire on the Welsh borders, and this is Croft Castle, home to the Croft family. Now, the castle began life here in 1055, but over the centuries that followed, it evolved into now largely 17th century and rather splendid family home you see today. But it was in the 18th century that the castle and the family's fortunes took a turn for the worse, and they were forced to sell it. But in 1923, Sir James Croft, the then 11th baronet, managed to buy it back, and the Crofts were returned to their family seat. Now, it is a place that is still very much evolving, embracing new environmental technology that it's hoped will assure its future long into the 21st century, something I'll be taking a much closer look at later on in the show. Landlocked Herefordshire is bordered by 5 counties, including Shropshire and Worcestershire. As one of England's most remote counties, Herefordshire's patchwork landscape has been shaped by centuries of agriculture. At its heart sits Hereford, with its majestic cathedral rising up above the River Wye, dominating the city's skyline. East of Hereford lies the historic market town of Ledbury, with its crooked black and white timbered architecture, a style that's widespread across the whole county. Venture away from the towns and you'll find peaceful hamlets and villages like Erdesley, with its famous 800-year-old oak tree. With the River Wye meandering through a county with one of the lowest population densities in the country, Herefordshire is as rural as it gets. Well, not only does Herefordshire have some absolutely beautiful countryside, it also has some fairly attractive property prices too. The cost of your average detached here will set you back about £258,000. That's some £7,000 below the national average. But, of course, there are hotspots anywhere in the southeast of the county, thanks to its fantastic transport links to the rest of the country, will mean you have to pay a little bit more. So if you feel like being a little bit more remote and you want your money to go that little bit further, take my advice and head west and north. Speaking as somebody who's now lucky enough to call this county home, take it from me, there is plenty on offer. So, time now to meet today's buyers and find out exactly what they're looking for. Today's buyers are French tutor Victoria and her Dutch husband Lucas, a retired computer software engineer. They currently live in the town of Thatcham in Berkshire and met 32 years ago at work.
We work for the same company and we started on the same day in Holland on the 1st of October 1982.
And then took a Christmas party and outing in Amsterdam to get us really together.
We came to the UK just after we'd got married. It was at the very end of 1985.
And home in the UK is now on a classic suburban housing estate.
We've been living here for 14 years. It seems to be getting busier and busier. We've gone past the stage of living on an estate now. I'd really, really like to have rural views. The more of them, the better, as far as I'm concerned.
But the draw of rural life, however, is not a desire for rural isolation.
It'd be nice to join in more in the local community and do things on a voluntary basis, and it's a good way of meeting new people that way as well.
The decision to move to Herefordshire is also driven by a wish to be near Victoria's ageing parents in the neighbouring county of Gloucestershire. But they also have to think about a 23-year-old son, Robert, who is studying for a master's degree, and 21-year-old daughter, Laura, who's away at university.
Initially, it will be our son who's definitely moving with us. Our daughter will be doing one more year at university, but then who knows, she might come back to live at home with us. But for the time being, it will just be our son.
In the move, a good kitchen is a priority as Lucas comes from a family of bakers.
My grandfather was a professional pâtissier in Holland. My father and his brother were also in the bakery. Yeah, I worked in the bakery as a small person. I was sort of 7, 8, 9, and it is in the genes.
And Victoria has a passion for the piano, which must also be accommodated in their new home.
I've played the piano since I was 7 years old. I don't practice as much as I should, usually an hour a week, but sometimes more. At the moment, my piano is in a fairly small room, so if possible, I would like a bigger room for it. Maybe one day, if I've got some spare cash, I might think about getting a baby grand. That would be absolutely amazing.
But garage space will also be important, as Lucas has a small collection of cars.
Cars have always been a major point in my life. The first word that I could say was auto, which is car. It was not mama and papa, it was auto.
But just getting away from the commuter rat run of their current area is the most important part of the move.
Herefordshire offers us a more rural place to live, less people, so I think it'll be a more relaxing way of life for us.
We're keeping our house hunt in the southern part of the county to stay near to Victoria's parents in English Bicknor, Gloucestershire. I'm meeting up with Lucas and Victoria in Herefordshire to go over the details. Well, Lucas, Victoria, welcome to Herefordshire. On a glorious day, it has to be said. But what's brought you here?
Well, we want to be closer to my family. They're getting older now, so we want to be able to be there for them to help them out if need be. And we've been to Herefordshire many times, so we know it a bit, and it's absolutely beautiful.
Well, hopefully, if we get it right, I might have some new neighbours. Who knows?
Hopefully.
And a pub close by?
There are plenty of good pubs in Herefordshire. I've looked at most of them, don't you worry. Your interests are quite varied and certainly would seem to fit the bill for country life.
Yes, I love folk dancing. I belong to a very friendly group in Thatcham, and I'm going to miss them, but I would like to find a folk dancing group nearby so I can take it up again.
Now, give us an idea of the specifics of what you're looking for, Victoria, in your new home.
OK, we'd like 4 bedrooms if possible, en suite, and ideally 3 reception rooms. I'd like a separate room for my piano, and it would be lovely to have a big kitchen where you can eat in and maybe have a sitting area at one end. We need a garage, definitely.
Garage for me, yes, because there are a few cars to accommodate.
When you say a few, how many?
There are 3 cars and actually a motorbike.
An outside space?
Yeah, garden, but not too big. I'm not a green-fingered person.
And I would love open views. I really want my country views.
We should just mention your children, Rob and Laura. They're setting out on their own paths, aren't they now, really? But still orbiting the family home, so you do need to accommodate them when they come back.
Yes, definitely. They're coming and going. Robert will be living with us for the next couple of years, probably.
And he has a whole wish list of maybe an annex, pool table, gym. we need this house.
Yes, sadly, this isn't for sale. But if only it were. And can you picture a style of property that would fit the bill?
I think we just want something with character. It doesn't really matter if it's modern, and I think we're going to know it when we see it.
So you know what you're looking for, but where do you want it specifically?
OK, probably in an area around Hereford, an hour maximum radius around my parents, I think.
Now, since we first met you back in Thatcham, things have changed a bit.
Yes, we got an offer on the house and accepted it, so we're all ready to go.
Let's just remind ourselves of how much you want to spend on this enterprise, Lucas.
A maximum of 500,000, really maximum.
Well, traditionally, this is an area that's had quite a lot of money spent on it over the centuries, and that's reflected in the housing stock. So your £500,000 will get us something, I think, quite exciting. We've got 3 to show you, including our mystery house. What's that going to be, I wonder? Ready to go?
Yes.
Let's go and spend some money.
Thank you.
With £500,000 to spend, Victoria and Lucas are looking for a character property with a minimum of 4 bedrooms, as well as another room for a piano. They'd like some semi-independent accommodation for their 2 children, as well as a garage for Lucas's small vehicle collection. They're also after countryside views and a location in a community is also extremely important. We have 3 fantastic properties which we're hoping will tempt our buyers with all they have to offer. But I won't reveal their price tags until they've had a guess themselves. The final property will be our mystery house, which delivers some of what they want in spades, but will challenge them on location. Now, I know that you've expressed an interest in groups like the WI, Victoria.
Yeah, if it's a friendly group with people you get on well with, then I'd be willing to give it a go.
They're great fun, they're very spirited, they have a great sense of community.
Yes, I think it's that sort of aspect we're looking for. We'd really like to be part of a community.
So let's see what you think of property number 1 and its village location. It's not very far from here. I'm pretty close to all the things, I think, that you're looking for. We're starting our house hunt in the village of Horwithy, which is located in the heart of the Wye Valley. It's an area of outstanding natural beauty, with stunning views at every turn. From here you can drop down onto the Wye Valley Walk, a 136-mile trek along the river, crossing in between Wales and England and taking around 12 days to complete. Horwithy itself has a pub with a community shop attached to it, and it's all overlooked by the splendid church of St Catherine's. Originally constructed in the 1840s, it began as a plain building, but in the 1870s, the wealthy vicar of Hentland decided to beautify the chapel, encasing it in Italian Romanesque architecture with a distinctive campanile tower. And our first house is just below it. So there's the pub.
Yes.
And this is property number 1.
Couldn't be closer to the park, could it?
It's a really interesting proposition, this one. It's quite a sprawling complex. But I thought we'd start here because this really is the sort of pretty face of it.
Yes.
But it all will make sense as we go around the back. Come and have a look at this.
OK.
This substantial red sandstone property is currently used as a B&B and offers 6 bedrooms in the main house, as well as some other interesting accommodation options. Good for housing family and all their hobbies. Now this, I think, is where this complex begins to make some sort of sense. Lots of parking, as you can see, but no garaging at the moment. And it also comes with this building here, which I'm thinking might be of interest to one or either of the children.
Definitely.
When they come to stay. But that's what I want you to think about. There's a lot to explore.
Yes, definitely.
Let's see what you think. The separate cottage is a large studio and would suit a family member or visiting guests, but it's just one of many options this house has to offer. Well, let's start with the kitchen, which, well, for most people, really, is the heart of it. I gather you're a bit of a baker, too.
Yes, I can do some baking. There's an oven there, hob, reasonable workspace.
Very farmhousey, I think. Yes, lots of storage. I like it. Good start.
There's a lot more down here to explore as well. We've already tempted you with the annex that's out in the yard there, but there is another 2-bedroom annex through there, so potentially your children could have one each.
Really?
Yeah. See what they make of this.
OK.
This self-contained annex is extremely spacious, comprising of a kitchen, 2 bedrooms, a bathroom and a living room. So you've got kitchen area here, and then this is the living room to the annex.
Wow,
quite
it's
big.
huge.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you think the kids would make of it if they were following us around now?
I think they'd be amazed.
All that space, that is
Yes.
what they would
Yes.
really, really appreciate.
Well, we've only just scratched the surface. There's plenty more space to explore. Just off the main kitchen in the other direction is a dining room currently used for the B&B guests, and there are 2 further living rooms. This is what the owners currently use as their space away from the B&B. Arguably, it's perhaps the smallest reception room.
Nice snug.
Yes, lovely wood burner.
Next door, there's an enormous reception room, currently used as bedrooms, and maybe that's one for the piano.
Yes, indeed.
I think this has rather surprised you, Victoria.
It has, yes, the size of it.
Yeah, the size.
It's just amazing.
Well, there's plenty more to see upstairs. Come and have a look at this. After you.
Thank you.
On the first floor of this property are 4 rooms, of which 3 are ensuite bedrooms, and another room currently used as the guest sitting room with a balcony overlooking the Wye Valley. But there's even more accommodation on the second floor. So we saved this one until last because it's right on the very top. The owners at the moment use this as their floor.
OK.
So this is their master, if you like. It has an ensuite shower room through there.
Yes.
And across the landing there is another room similarly sized, which they're using as an office stroke study, but it does have lovely views.
Yes, there's so much scope in this house.
It goes on and on and on, doesn't
It does, yes.
Now, you've got so many en-suites to choose from. I don't know which one you would prefer as your master bedroom. You'll have to decide.
The one that has the best shower.
But what do we think of price, I wonder?
We'll have to have a think about that one.
I think you will. Let's go and get some fresh air.
OK.
You might need it. Outside, there's a modest amount of land, around 1/3 of an acre, but it's been imaginatively landscaped.
This is lovely.
Yeah?
Oh.
The garden's got some lovely little features, little sunroom back up there, and of course you've got the annex down there in the courtyard.
Very unusual.
So have you been able to consider how much Property One might be on the market for?
OK, I think it's fairly close to the top of the budget. I'm going to go for 475,000.
475, yeah, Lucas?
That is what I would hope for, but I think it is a bit higher. 485 is my guess.
Your hunch is right, but it is under budget, but only just. It's on at 499,500.
OK.
So 500 quid left over. But I think you'll agree, an awful lot of property for your money.
Definitely.
It's a lot,
It's
yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
Right, well, there's one more bit you haven't seen, and that is at the annex in the courtyard. Go and have a look at that, and I'll catch up with you a little bit later. With £500 change from their top budget, this substantial 3-storey house offers 6 bedrooms plus a 2-bedroom annex and a separate studio cottage. So there is more than enough space for adult children, pianos and more. There are views across the Wye Valley landscape and space to build a garage. What's more, its central village location is extremely handy for local amenities.
Oh, this is a good room. I like the character
Beam,
of the beam.
yeah.
I think I can see Robert in here, can't you?
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, kitchen.
Tiny kitchen.
Adequate for somebody who cannot cook.
Oh, there's an ensuite shower room
Ensuite
here.
shower room.
It just goes on and on and on. I couldn't believe the size of the house. The kitchen is ideal, very homely.
Nice to have the pub there. I can walk to the pub and come back in one piece.
Well, the children would be delighted. Whether or not that might be too much space when they do finally fly the nest, I'm not sure.
Ah, so what did you make of that then?
Very interesting, yes.
Is it Rob or Laura?
Probably Robert.
Probably
yes.
Robert,
Yes, I
OK.
think so.
Well, I think we've had a brilliant start with this one. So it's lunchtime. Let's go and check out the pub.
Excellent.
Come on then.
Excellent.
Thank you.
With an abundance of appealing landscapes, it's easy to see why Victoria and Lucas want to move to Herefordshire for a more leisurely pace of life. But as well as finding a home with picture postcard views, they're also looking to be part of an active community. With Victoria keen to pursue her passion for folk dancing, we've sent her and Lucas to Lempster Priory to meet Carol and Linda, 2 members of an all-female Morris dancing troupe, whose origins are linked to an amazing artefact displayed in the church.
Welcome to Lempster and the beautiful Priory Church. We're in Jenny Pipes Morris, and this is a ducking stool. It was used to humiliate people who'd been bad in some way, a bit like the Stocks.
Why is your group named after Jenny?
We're called after Jenny Pipes because she was the last woman in England to be ducked on the ducking stool in 1809.
What had Jenny done to be ducked?
The reason that she was ducked was purely for being a nagging wife or a scold. So she had a sort of quarrelsome, boisterous tongue and was considered to be a public nuisance. And although that was 200 years ago, we wanted to remember her feisty spirit because Jenny Pipes was sort of marched around Lempster in the stool and ducked several times in the Kenwater, but she still came up each time sort of hurling torrents of abuse at the magistrate.
We like her spirit.
The Morris tradition has its roots in the 14th and 15th centuries and is most often associated with men. However, in more recent times, it's expanded and evolved, and now all female as well as mixed groups are helping to keep this native dance tradition alive. In order to learn the basic steps, they're meeting up with group leader Heather.
Hello, Heather, nice to meet you. How many are there in your group?
We've got about 10 or 12 members at the moment and some musicians as well.
And what sort of age range are they?
The youngest member is about 21 and I wouldn't like to tell you how old our oldest member is. I think that would be giving away secrets.
And why do you come together to dance?
People come for different reasons. Some people come because it's really good exercise, you get a really good workout. And the other thing is we like the idea of continuing a tradition of dance that goes back probably over 500 years.
I see.
OK, so would you like to learn a dance now?
Yes.
You'll need a stick
Thank you.
and a handkerchief.
Thank you.
OK, so I'm going to teach you a dance from the Cotswolds, from the village of Stanton Harcourt. And this dance is called bean planting. So what we're going to do is we have our sticks in our right hand, we have our handkerchiefs in our left hand. We're going to stamp on the ground with our left foot, and we're going to dib a hole for that bean with our stick. To step forward with the right and clash our partner's stick. Then we're going to step back with the right foot and shoot any crows that might be going to steal our beans. OK? So let's have a practice at that. So we're going to step with the left, clash with the right, and shoot those crows. Lucas.
There are regional differences in the dances, and in Herefordshire, groups either perform the Cotswold Morris or the Borders style, which is more vigorous. The dance they're going to learn today is a Cotswold dance.
Now across to your opposite partner. Step forward and back.
Having practiced, it's time to get suited and booted for the performance. And whilst Lucas can't perform with the female troupe, he does get to join the musicians.
Dance in position.
I can certainly see Victoria fitting in well with the local dance scene, so the pressure is definitely on to find her and Lucas their new Herefordshire home. For our next property, we're border hopping into Gloucestershire to the village of Longhope, close to Victoria's parents. The village is small, but has plenty of amenities, including a post office and shop, allotments, a school, and several pubs. There's also a village hall which holds regular community events. It's thought the village was founded in Saxon times, so there's a rich history and some rather old properties. And in the heart of it is our second offering.
Right, just settle down here, because that is what I want you to feast your eyes on.
Oh, gosh.
You wanted character? Well, this has it in spades. It's a little bit older than our first property. This one's about 1670. Is it the sort of thing you would have considered, Lucas?
Certainly on sort of age and how it looks, and it is definitely special.
I love it.
Yeah.
Let's see what you think. Come on.
This is a Grade 2 listed 5-bedroom property and without a doubt delivers on their desire for a house with character.
There we go.
Ooh, an island. Oh,
Very nice.
Yeah?
yeah.
Loads of character.
Now, this is the biggest smile I've seen from Lucas all day. This is all good, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. It's not huge, but it just feels nice.
Yeah. Through there, you've got a huge utility room with pantry.
Wow, just up my street.
Exactly.
Pantry.
Your pantry, yeah.
Well, you need somewhere for all your baking stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
All your different types of flour.
Flour
and
for
what
this,
have
flour
you.
for that, flour
Yes.
for different kinds of flowers.
Let's go through here to the living room.
Okay.
I love these little latches. Come on in. What do you think?
Wow.
I'm not saying anything. Nice stone farm.
It's light, you know, it's got plenty of light coming in. I like it.
It is too big for a snug, but it is snug enough to sit in.
Yeah, take your point, yeah. OK, snug enough. There's a lot to like about this one. I adore it. You can probably tell I'm a bit biased, but there you go. There, a little bit of fine dining for you.
Whoa,
Wow.
Yeah.
room. Gosh.
Oh, there is your piano
My
space.
piano could go there. Down at that end.
You might want to exchange it for one like that.
Get a grand piano
Yeah, the-
instead. Is that another fireplace?
Yes, you've got a lovely burner in here. And some lovely details. I mean, look at these hinges, hand-wrought hinges. Is it working its historic charm?
Oh, yes.
On the 1 to 10 scale, where are we?
9?
9?
I was going to say 9 as well.
I'll take 9. Let's see if we can find that extra point
Okay.
upstairs.
There are 2 upstairs floors accessed via a stone and oak staircase. On the first floor is a small landing cum study room, the property's only bathroom, as well as 3 of the 5 bedrooms. 2 are good-sized doubles, not including the master.
And we're thinking this would be your bit.
Look at that bed. It's a beautiful room. Really beautiful. Views both sides.
Yeah,
Yes.
over the garden here.
Yeah.
Yes, that is amazing. I
Yes.
love it.
Yeah.
I think you do love it.
Yeah.
I can see that you might have a few reservations somewhere, though. I don't know if we've got to 10 yet.
The staircase.
But the staircase will be the main issue for me.
Yeah,
now
well
it
done.
is okay, but in 10 years.
It's a good consideration. You know, it has to work long term, doesn't it? Upstairs, there are 2 further bedrooms, so you've got 5 bedrooms in all. But I think now we should repair to the garden
Okay.
and talk about the money. Come on, then.
The top floor has not only 2 good-sized bedrooms, but also an adjoining lounge study area. It could make an almost independent suite for their son Robert. Outside, the gardens are spectacular and in the past have been open to the public.
I mean, what a time of year to see this garden. It is just beautiful.
A really mature garden, this is. All these different rooms.
Have a seat.
Thank you.
Let's relax a while
Okay.
at the end of our house tour. That's better, isn't it?
Look at it.
Yes.
Now, the garden really is divided into 2 halves. There's this bit with all these beautiful plants in it. And then the other side of that wall is a really nicely appointed vegetable patch, fruit cages and so on. And the whole thing goes up a little bit further to give you views out across the church and the house and the valley beyond.
Looks beautiful.
It is a splendid property. But what do we think it's on the market for?
I go higher this time. 499,950.
So 50 quid short of your budget, yeah, Victoria?
I think it's got to be above budget. I would say 525,000.
I would have thought so myself, I have to say, if I'd walked in here without knowing how much it is. But here's the thing. This could be yours for 475.
It is a surprise.
That is a surprise.
Ah, now
Big
look,
surprise.
the Dutchman's smiling again. This is all good. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, look, you haven't seen the top floor yet. Why don't you go and explore that?
Thank you.
And take your time, why not?
Yes, definitely. It warrants it.
Priced at a surprising £25,000 under budget, this Grade 2 listed 17th century home is unquestionably an historic gem. There are 5 bedrooms laid out in a way that son Robert can have his own space. There's a fantastic reception room, perfect for Victoria's piano. There's a detached garage, some wonderful pastoral views, and it's all in the heart of a small village community.
What's your hat?
This is amazing.
Go in.
Very, very quirky room, isn't it?
Nice views.
This could be Robert's
Yeah,
area,
yeah,
couldn't
could
it?
be.
He'd love this part of the house. Oh, I've just seen a little door through there.
What's behind that?
Let's go and have a look. Oh, what a surprise. There's another bedroom. Look at this.
Then a good
Wow.
size again. Interesting.
Very interesting. I think this house is absolutely incredible. It really blew me away. And it's packed with character. The floorboards, the door latches, the beams.
The dining room had the best wow factor of them all.
I love the garden as well, divided into the small rooms. And of course, the views on both sides are absolutely amazing. I love this house.
You know, for me, gardening is all about having fun, and this is a brilliant example of it. Look at it. A sheep crafted out of box hedging and a lovely piece of oak. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before.
No. I suppose if you were really true to it, you'd grow it out of you.
Oh, Jules, that's terrible.
A terrible joke to end what I think has been a good day.
It's been fantastic.
Very good day.
Excellent. Right then, I'm going to treat you both to a pint of the local. Come on.
Lovely.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
It's the second day of our house hunt, and with a budget of £500,000, we're helping retirees Lucas and Victoria from Thatcham in Berkshire find a slice of rural bliss in Herefordshire. Coming up, our mystery house gets son Robert's seal of approval.
He would be over the moon with this place.
And I root out the eco-friendly energy project that's hotting up in the county's woodland.
Wow. Well done, mate. That was quite a thud, wasn't it? Well, as we head out on our final day of house hunting here in Hereford, I suppose really it's a case of so far, so good. Both Victoria and Lucas have enjoyed our first two properties, and they have met the bill in terms of finding them something in a village with all the community support that can offer. But Victoria in particular has been very clear. She does want her new home to have a view. So for our mystery house, we're going to head a little more rural, and believe you me, with this one, there is plenty to look at. I know you know Herefordshire reasonably well, but travelling around it these last few days, house hunting, has it reaffirmed your wish to be here?
Normally I am driving, and then you see the road and not much else. And now, sitting in these cars, I could actually appreciate more of rolling hills.
So what you're saying is you want a chauffeur for your future life? I'm not available.
For our final property, we're heading to the western side of Herefordshire on the Welsh border, where the nearest village is Ewes Harold. It's an area of gently rolling countryside, and the village has some foodie appeal with 2 pubs, a chippy, butchers and tea rooms. There's a post office, and for communal village activities, a memorial hall. The Mystery House is a much more rural option than the previous 2, being not in the village but a 10-minute drive up the valley to a glorious elevated position.
Climb up and enjoy the view.
Look at that.
Oh.
Oh, that view.
And you get this. We're a bit more rural here. We're not on the edge of a village. You've got 3 or 4 local shops and post offices within about 3 or 4 mile radius of here. So let's see what you think of it. Come and have a look inside.
It's not right in the heart of a community, which is what Lucas and Victoria wanted, but this house gives spectacular, uninterrupted views. It's a 3-bedroom 19th century stone cottage, which comes with its own separate 1-bedroom unit. Inside, the main house has a very traditional layout.
Let's start with this one.
Oh, this is sweet.
Cosy, cosy.
Yeah?
Snug, snug.
Nice snug, yes.
I get the feeling you quite like it being cosy.
You like your cosiness,
I like my
don't you?
coziness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like to be
As
nice
well
and
as
warm.
a big room, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is massive as well, so ours...
Yes, quite big furniture in here.
And our furniture is smaller.
It's definitely smaller than this furniture.
Well, next door used to be a dining room, but they've gone for the reception room option. But having said that, they have done quite a lot of work remodelling the kitchen at the back of the house to give you quite a big open plan kitchen diner. So
Right.
maybe that's all you need.
Okay.
Let's have a look. And then this is the kitchen and diner.
Oh, I like
Oh,
this.
yeah.
Fantastic. Yes.
Island.
Yes, our island.
Your range?
Oh, a range cooker.
Yeah.
Oh, and the door's out to the garden there. I love it. I really love it.
Marvellous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we've got 3 bedrooms upstairs for you.
Okay.
Come and have a look at this.
So the kitchen is definitely a winner in this house, and off the kitchen there is also a utility room and a WC. Upstairs there is a shared family bathroom and 3 bedrooms. There are 2 good doubles, either of which could be used by their daughter.
And then finally, this one.
Oh, this is pretty.
Your pretty room, yeah.
Very pretty. I love the wallpaper. Normally I wouldn't go for something like this, but I do like it. I like the beams up
Yeah.
here. They give a bit of character to the room.
Yeah.
And you've got the views, of course, from here.
Well, I think the pair of you would be very happy over here. So let's take a walk across the garden now and have a look at the annex stroke cottage and think about the children, because I think they'd like it.
OK, let's
After
go.
you.
Across the back of the courtyard garden is a separate storehouse and then the 2-storey self-contained cottage, which I think will be ideal for this family setup.
Now, what would the kids make of this?
Oh, he would love this, Robert would.
L-shaped.
Oh, do you know, he's been talking about having an L-shaped sofa for ages now.
There used to be a garage, so it was just a great big empty box, really, but they've managed to incorporate a kitchen area there. And then upstairs, there's this really nice bathroom and a huge bedroom that overlooks the views again.
He would be over the moon with this place. This is absolutely super. I think this could really work, don't you, Luke?
As the cottage used to be the garage, there is now no garage for Lucas's cars, but there is no shortage of land upon which to build one.
Well, here we are then, the final bit of our Mystery House tour. And part of the reason it's our Mystery House is because it comes with 5 acres
5?
up there,
5 acres.
along with that stable block over there. Now, the current owners don't use the land, they just rent it out.
OK.
So what do we think our mystery house is on the market for?
I think it's got to be top of the budget. I would say 500,000.
500,000, Lucas?
Hoping for 450.
450? Well, so you're hoping for £50,000 change?
Yes.
That's a bit optimistic.
I'm
Well-
always optimistic.
This is how much change you would get from your £500,000.
£5.
£5. It's on at 499,995. All right.
Okay.
There you are. Treat yourself. Well, go and have a look around. See what we might do with that £5. I'll catch up with you later.
So, for just under their top budget, this stone cottage offers 3 good-sized bedrooms in the main house, as well as a great separate 1-bedroom unit for son Robert. There are 2 living rooms, so there's at least a corner for the piano. There is currently no garage, and it's not in the centre of a village, but what it lacks in neighbours, it gains in incredible rural views.
I love the house. From the moment we walked up to the front door with that beautiful view around us.
The least favourite part of the property is actually the land. Although, yeah, it can be rented out, so that is less of a worry.
I think you do get a feeling as you walk into a house that you know it could be for you. And I do actually feel, you know, that it could be the one.
After you, madam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, I think that was all rather useful, actually. What a great house tour.
Definitely.
And we managed to get you some change of a £5. But I think all in all, we have given you plenty to consider this week, haven't we?
Oh, definitely, most definitely.
Right then, let's go and find that coffee. Come on.
OK, thank you.
Croft Castle near Lempster, home to the Croft family for nearly 1,000 years, is now a lavish country mansion. But it started life as a Norman stronghold to guard the border with Wales. Today, its National Trust custodians are fighting a different sort of battle: how to find an environmentally friendly way of heating the vast property. But can a building with hundreds of years of history have an eco-friendly future? I've come to meet Operations Manager Ian Grafton to find out more.
Wow, this is the life, isn't it?
It is. Welcome to the saloon, Jules.
This is gorgeous.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
I am astonished that any building, frankly, can remain in the hands of the same family for nearly 1,000 years. How have they managed it here?
It is astonishing. I think they've just been very good with their money. They've also been a very honourable family. They've fallen out of favour so many times, being on the wrong side of different wars. They did lose the house, though, in 1746 in the South Sea bubble when they had to sell. Sir Archie Croft sold the house. Remarkably, they bought it back in 1923. But eventually, as happened to many of the big country houses, they just couldn't afford to run it. So they gave it to the National Trust in 1957.
The future of the castle is very much in your hands now. You've had to do an awful lot of restoration and renovation here, haven't you?
Yes, re-roofed it, we've put new services in, we're about to put in new heating systems. We've probably spent about £2.5–3 million in the last 10 years.
Now, you talk about heating systems. I live in a lovely old house, not as big as this, I hasten to add, but my heating bill is horrendous. Yours must be astronomical.
We spent last year about £19,000 on heating oil, which, as you can tell, is a massive amount and not sustainable going forward, because heating oil prices are due to rise, as we know.
So what do you do about it, looking ahead?
Well, we're surrounded by woodland here, 1,500 acres of woodland. And, of course, if you go back 300 years, the house would have been heated by burning wood. So we're going to put in a biomass boiler that burns wood chip, and we're going to harvest our own timber, season it, chip it, put it into the boilers, and go back, if you like, 300 years, but with 21st century technology.
As well as being more cost-effective than other heating systems, wood-fuelled heating is a low-carbon option. After allowing the wood to dry for 12 months, it's chipped and will be stored in purpose-built huts before it's ready to be used in the biomass boiler, and the process is sustainable as long as new trees are planted. I'm meeting the project manager, Joe Dimitri.
Now, let's be clear, you're not going to fell all of Croft's woodland. This
Absolutely
is
not.
a managed process.
It's a very carefully managed process. As you can see on this side, we have the conifer plantations. They're non-native species, and you can see it's very dark.
Yeah.
When you move over to the other side, you've got a much more open, managed woodland, and you can see it really opens up the space, improves the habitat for birds, bats, butterflies.
But how long can you keep the new boilers going for with what's available here at Croft?
By thinning out the woodland and widening the rides, we think we've got about 19, 20 years worth of wood that we can fuel the biomass.
Now, you've been hard at work already, even before the boilers have been installed.
That started over a year ago, where we've cut down enough wood for a year's supply of fuel for the biomass, and that has been seasoning in the woodland so that when it actually goes into the boiler works efficiently.
Well, I think I can hear a chainsaw over there. Should we go and see what's going on?
Let's see, yeah.
This is one of 5 sustainable energy pilots being undertaken by the National Trust at properties across the UK. Each scheme is being monitored with a view to being rolled out across the Trust, cutting its total annual heating bill of £6 million in half.
Wow, well done, mate. That was quite a thud, wasn't it? So now all you've got to do is chip it.
And then we've got our fuel.
Brilliant.
So with the new biomass boiler set to be installed in the coming weeks, this project will soon go live and aims to provide 75% of the heating at Croft Castle, saving 50 tonnes of carbon dioxide every year. Not only helping the environment, but freeing up money to be spent on vital conservation work.
Well, I am pretty confident that we have given Victoria and Lucas 3 fabulous houses to choose from this week, but of course they can afford to buy only one. But let's be honest, you don't need to be Sherlock Holmes to figure out which one it's most likely to be. So, we came out here looking for a home. Have we found you one?
Probably.
Probably.
The mystery house is top. 2 nice rooms, snugs, but when you take out the big furniture, then yeah, it will work. And a fabulous kitchen.
Yes, the kitchen was absolutely amazing. I loved it. And of course, the annex for Robert would be really, really pleased with that.
And it came with some fabulous views.
Yes, the views were just outstanding.
So I suppose the only thing is we've given you a bit more land with the mystery house than you wanted.
Yes, but thinking of it, it is a bit equestrian land there. And daughter Laura sometimes talks about a horse.
Really? We weren't looking for anywhere for a horse, but now you might end up with one.
We might have one.
So what happens next, Victoria?
Well, I think we go home, discuss things with our son, and I think we also need to look into how far the house is from amenities, exactly where it is, where the nearest community would be, and take it from there.
Well, it is a really gorgeous bit of Herefordshire, and I hope the children also share your view that it's the property for you, because it really is terrific. So just let us know. I can't wait to hear.
Yes, and thank you so much for your help. This has been a fabulous experience.
Thank you very much.
Well, as we have seen, Herefordshire is not short on views, and we've certainly rewarded Victoria and Lucas with plenty of those this week, but so too has the property market left us spoilt for choice. 3, I think, remarkable properties, any one of which would have suited our buyers, but they've plumped for our mystery house. And any time soon, it looks like, with any luck, I might have 2 new neighbours. I'll see you next time.
If you would like to escape to the country in Wales, Scotland, Northern Ireland, England, or further afield on the continent and would like our help, then please apply online at bbc.co.uk/Be On A Show.